Hey, how's it going? It's Walsh here, sick as always. So we are 1 hour and 48 minutes from the new Path of Exile 2 League, and for once I'm actually pretty excited to play Path of Exile 2. The first time I did try playing it, it really wasn't for me, and I wasn't really intending on playing this at all, but they were doing some Twitch drops, I decided to watch them, and I actually listened to the development stream, and I have to say, a lot of the changes they are talking about sound really good. I don't really know if those changes are like in fruition yet, or if they're just like starting to talk about them. But I do like some of the changes they're making. I do just want to say, if you watch me for Ruthless, I'm going to tell you right now, Path of Exile 2 is absolutely nothing like Ruthless. They could not be more different. In Path of Exile 2, you have insane amounts of currency, you have infinite free gems, and there's a lot more differences than that, but just those two deciding factors alone are more than enough to make it not PoE, or sorry, not like Ruthless. But anyway, instead of randomizing my ascendancy like I normally do, I'm just gonna randomize a class and go from there. And I don't want to like put too many restrictions on because I really didn't enjoy the last time I played this game. So I kind of just want to like have some loose restrictions. So what I'm gonna do is randomize my starting class, and then I can roll another one once I complete a tier 10 map, assuming I play that long. But that way I have like something to work towards and like hope for or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna roll. My only reroll I get is Sorceress because that's the thing I played last time. So I don't want to play it. Okay, whatever. I mean, like I was saying, I'm not gonna play Sorceress again. I just played that last time, so I don't want to roll it again. So one more time. Don't hit Sorceress again. Okay, we got Mercenary. I don't even know what that is. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with a crossbow. But anyway, 1 hour and 46 minutes to go. It took me quite a while to download the update. It was like 45 gigs, and even though my internet is better than it used to be, it's still not very good. I was pretty lucky though. It was only like 14K in queue. It's like 4:05 right now, Eastern Standard Time. So I'm like 5 minutes late, which is totally fine. I really don't want to like spend too much time talking throughout the campaign. I might show some clips here and there of like my character progressing, just so you can see how it did progress through the campaign. But I kind of just want to like take some time and give the game a lot of my attention and not have to focus on anything else. I'll definitely have some thoughts. Like I'll definitely be talking over some stuff. That's what you'll see anyway. But for me, I'm just gonna play through it. I'm not gonna really focus on recording anything because I really want to give this game another shot. The dev stream really gave me some like hope that the game is moving in a direction that I would like more. I just want to stress though, I never thought this game was bad. It just wasn't for me. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you near the end. So I know it's Act 1. I am literally level 2. But I gotta tell you, this feels pretty awful. This feels pretty terrible so far. But at least I understand now. I was confused why I have, like, just a basic attack, but it makes sense now. You just choose what ability you're loading into your crossbow, which is kind of cool in a way, because it lets you, like, change between different skills in a different way. I don't really know if it... Oh, here's our first, what's it called? I do like the idea of the grenades. I think it's kind of a fun idea. The only problem is they take forever to detonate. Now, obviously, I assume later on you could find ways to reduce the duration of that. But for right now, it feels kind of weird. But I think a big part of that is I'm just not used to, like, Path of Exile 2's, like, gameplay loop. But whatever, we'll see if it gets better. But just for my initial impressions, I am not a fan of the Mercenary. I have decided this go around I am going to be trying out WSAD. And the reason I didn't try it last time was I was kind of afraid I would really enjoy it. But I'm going to give it a try. I mean, obviously, I've only been doing, I don't know, like 10 minutes. I was going to say I've been doing it for 20 minutes, but I don't even know if it's been that long. It's been like 10, 15 minutes, and it feels okay. It doesn't feel like especially good or bad yet. But I think part of that is just because I'm not used to it yet, so it's still kind of weird. But other than that, I did find out I was playing this character completely wrong. So not only do you get a support gem for your bolts, which is basically just like an ability you load into your arrow, but your basic attack also gets supports. So in PoE terms, imagine if like your default attack had links, and then you could buff it up from there. I don't know like how good or bad this character is, but it's a pretty fun idea. I ended up losing power to a thunderstorm, but I got it back reasonably quickly. I can't complain too much. I have to say, I absolutely love the pause mechanic in this game. Not only does it pause it for you when the game crashes or you lose your internet or whatever, but it also keeps you exactly where you were, which is amazing. I love that so much. So far, my character feels really nice. I don't really have anything to compare it to, so for all I know, I'm actually playing like a dog shit character and I'm like, clearing really slowly. But so far, it hasn't really felt that way. I kind of like the play pattern so far. I don't know if I'm going to always like this. It might get tedious later on, but so far, I'm really just enjoying it. I have not looked at any of the Ascendancies. The only ones I really know are the ones for Sorceress, and that's because I played it last time. I didn't really like the look of the other two Ascendancies. They kind of look kind of boring. I mean, not necessarily boring, but just they don't look good for what I want to do. One is basically like a totem character, like a Ballista totem character, and the other one just kind of gives you a bunch of like quasi buffs, like Culling Strike and stuff like that. It almost feels like a ranged Slayer in a way. I ended up going with a Gemling Legionnaire. Not only does it just look really good, but it just looks way more fun to me than the other two. I don't really want to do a totem build. I don't really want to do like a pseudo, range slayer kind of thing. And obviously, these are just my first impressions. For all I know, I picked the worst of the three. I highly doubt that because just getting free 2 levels on your gems, and on top of that, getting free quality for all your gems just seems really good. Ended up dropping my first unique. Of course, it's not something I can really use right now, but it is a good leveling unique. That way, if I ever do want to go back and roll another character, which I kind of doubt, but yeah, you never know. Another thing I do want to comment on is the boss fights. I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times, but the boss fights really do just feel good and satisfying to fight. I'm still not a big fan of like the whole Dark Souls ARPG thing, and the biggest problem I have with it is the dodge roll. And the problem with having a dodge roll that even if it gives you a microsecond of an iframe is everything in the game becomes balanced around that. It feels like 70 to 80% of my gameplay is me just dodge rolling, dodge rolling, dodge rolling, dodge rolling. And granted, there are some moments where it feels really good and it's very satisfying, but a lot of the times it just feels really tedious. So I'm in Act 3 now. We are level 30. We're almost level 31. And I have to say, what started off as a really tedious and unfun character is quickly turning into something that's just kind of fun. Not only do you get to, like, just do, like, grenade stuff and crossbow stuff, which is definitely not a thing in PoE 1, but I really love, like, the weird little crossbow stuff you get. Like, sometimes you'll fire, like, 3 or 4 bolts in a row, and it just feels amazing. And of course, whenever you get the proc as well that makes your reloads immediate, it just feels incredible. It's like you fire 3 or 4 times rapidly, and then you instantly reload and fire 2 or 3 more times again, which is awesome. I am going to come down here for power shots. I imagine full salvo is probably insane, but I don't really know if I'm at the point yet where I just want to like be switching my bolts all the time. That just seems really tedious. And probably once I've done this tree, I'm either going to come up and get some, was it here? Yeah, probably gonna get some grenade stuff. I'm not really sure yet. I might just go for defense. I don't really feel swishy or anything like that. I still feel like way tankier than I did the last time I played on the Sorceress. But like, I'm definitely not like immortal or anything like that. I do die very, very rarely, but usually from me just like sprinting when I shouldn't, I just get stunned. I haven't really looked at the tree. I'm just kind of like focusing on leveling up. But yeah, I think it's time to probably stop taking damage and probably start taking some defense. So I know part of this league is using these currencies. I'm not exactly sure what kind of like benefit you can get, but oh, I thought I removed the mod. I guess you don't reveal a mod? These are all pretty bad. Actually, you know what? The flat crit, it's not so bad. It could be worse. I mean, it wasn't really like an amazing crossbow. It's pretty good for me right now, but I kind of just like, oh, he actually carries the crossbow. That's pretty cool. I mean, whatever, man. I'll take it. Slight upgrade achieved. I got another unique, which again wasn't something I could really use, but it's still cool finding uniques, and I got one not too long after that. I don't think they're very common, but I have found 3 already, which is pretty cool. This one just seems ridiculous for leveling. I'm already like higher level than that, but so far it looks pretty cool. And as you can see, I got my very first depths, which was a little bit scary. I am level 43 right now, and the very first like difficult thing that has happened in this entire game so far is during the abyss. There are 3 of these rares, and my god, are they angry. I'm having a pretty hard time. I haven't died yet, but I'm probably going to. Oh my. No, I just killed one too. Yeah, so far everything has been, pretty easy, but yeah, I got wrecked. Turns out the abyssal depths are kind of scary. I've been finding taking a lot of breaks from this game has helped me enjoy it a lot more. It's kind of hard to explain, but like playing this game just like, I don't know, it feels like heavy. Like not heavy like it's serious or anything, just heavy like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like every second I'm doing a lot of stuff, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just makes me like, kind of like mentally fatigued in a way. It's not even like it's overwhelming or anything like that. I don't really know how to explain it. I just like feel like after a certain amount of time, I kind of just like want to walk away for a minute. I don't know. But yeah, so far I'm having a good time. We are level 46. Just coming back from a break right now, as you probably guessed. I am experimenting with switching between different bolts to get the, what's called on the tree right here? Yeah, the full salvo, 25% increased damage, and right now I'm using two different types of bolts, so that's 50% increased damage, which is pretty cool. But the question is, do I like using it more than I like using the ballista? I will say the ballista so far has felt pretty terrible, but I might go back to it. I'm not really sure yet. But so far, I just want to clarify, I am having fun. I do like the game. And if you are like feeling like me and kind of like mentally exhausted, I recommend taking a lot of breaks because it's definitely working for me. So I did every single side quest, and it took me 9 hours to reach Act 4, which is probably pretty bad. I ended up getting my second lab done, which wasn't too hard. I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to be a very long time before I ever do my third lab, because it's very, I hate how it's RNG locked. We'll talk more about this later, but anyway, got my lab done, and not looking forward to doing number 3. I would say the longest part of like the campaign so far is sometimes like the server just gets messed up and resets my minimap, and then I basically have to run the entire zone again trying to figure out where the hell I'm going. Which, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. I will say, when they first talked about the sprint mechanic, it did kind of feel like a cop-out to, like, fix the huge zone problem. But now that I've had to run back and forth like 5 times because of the server, I'm pretty glad it exists. I'm sure over time it's going to be pretty annoying having to come to this zone every time you want to craft, but so far I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm not really hitting any good modifiers right now, but it's pretty fun just like throwing your item in the abyss, then getting the item back carried by some weird monster. I don't know why, it's very satisfying, I kind of like it. I got my first Divine Orb, which I have absolutely no use for, and we got another unique, which is a Black Heart, that's from PoE 1. Pretty cool. But yeah, so far everything in the campaign has been pretty easy. The number one thing that kills me is just sprinting when I shouldn't. But honestly, the zones are just so long that like I just can't be patient with it. I can't stand it. Ended up beating Act 4, and I want to say Act 4 was actually really fun. I loved going through all the islands. I liked how they were all pretty different, didn't feel too repetitive. The boss fights were pretty interesting. This boss actually got me once because I was kind of like, I don't know, I kind of got a little too cocky. Because sometimes when I freeze enemies, I like just get like, I don't know, too excited to DPS, and then I stand there and die. I am now at 13 hours played. We got through Act 4 pretty quickly. Well, I want to say quickly, but for all I know, I did it really slowly. But I mean, I didn't have too many troubles, so that's pretty cool. Well, I thought I was done the campaign, but apparently not. Oh, wait, no, we are done the campaign. Are we? I'm confused. I'm assuming yes. I mean, there's a stash here, right? This is a new act? No, we are not done the campaign. Okay, never mind. Damn, I actually thought it was over, but apparently not. Anyway, though, we are on 3-link for pretty much everything. I did just now get a, I have no idea where it is. Is this it? No. Oh, they're right here. I did just get 2 of these, so I can have a couple of 4-links. But even though the campaign's not over, I will say, so far, I've been having a really good time. I've actually enjoyed playing the campaign. A big part of that, like I talked about earlier, was taking breaks. And I don't really know, like, what classes are really good, what's really bad. I assume this character is probably, like... It's kind of hard to say. Because, like, when I look at the tree, I see stuff like deflection, which just seems completely ridiculous. Because I was originally going to say this is probably like a B character, but then when you look at like the gembling stuff, it gets pretty insane when you look at these notes, so it's probably like an A tier character, but I have no idea, that's pretty much just my impression. But I guess we're going to continue the campaign. Apparently there are unique charms, which is pretty awesome. I do like the charm system, I wish it was a little more intricate, but I mean, it's pretty cool to see a unique, especially for a weird slot. So I guess in the axe, you just like get a free unique. They all seem pretty shit, but I mean, free unique is still pretty cool, I guess. So I think my fight actually bugged out. So before this guy was dead, I killed the first boss, and then Doriani showed up, and this guy just kept attacking me, and now he's just kind of like chilling here, and he won't die. Hopefully they're not supposed to drop items, because I'm not getting any. I am level 60, we're 26% of the way to 61, and it finally just kind of like clicked with me, like how different the combat is and how much I enjoy it. So at first it seems like, because if I'm coming from a PoE perspective, it seems super annoying. It's like every single build, you're literally forced to use like 4 or 5 skills all the time. Hey, my first map. So, like, no matter what, you just have to do that. But now that I've been playing, I really understand, like, the benefit of that. So, like, here, let's find a mob real fast here. So, this guy is actually weak to fire damage, and as you can see, like, are they all weak to fire damage? Alright, well, I guess they all are. For some zones, it's like, hey, another map. For some zones, it's like, hey, this mob is weak to fire. Like, look at this guy. He's resistant to lightning. So, you know, I can just use cold and destroy him. I kind of really like that. It feels kind of nice when you run into an enemy that's like, oh, it's really strong against this elemental, but you're doing all three types. It's like, sure, you might, like, be stronger with one type than the other two. Like, for me, obviously, my grenades are just ridiculous. They're so much stronger than everything else. But it's just really satisfying to be like, okay, I see what the enemy's weak to. I'm gonna, like, switch bolts. Like, hey, they're weak to lightning, I'll just zap them. I don't know, I kind of really like it. At first, it was, like, really tedious, but I'm down with it. The final boss of the campaign was the only difficult, like, content in the entire campaign for me. I will say the Abyssal Depths wrecked me, but after that I did complete a few. But yeah, this boss absolutely shit on me several times. I think I died like 8 or 9 times. Once I did respec my character and switch over to armor, though, it was pretty easy. I think the biggest problem I had was not only did I have like I wasn't res capped first of all, but I had like 0 armor, 0 evasion. And the reason I had none of that is because I really haven't been upgrading my gear. I kind of went into it with the PoE 1 mindset of like, I'm expecting to find rares and upgrade my gear. But it doesn't feel like that's the way it works in PoE 2. It feels more like you're supposed to be constantly crafting stuff and not really expecting to pick anything up other than currency, which I have mixed feelings about. But I mean, I think overall it's a decent system. But I got through the campaign in 16 hours and 20 minutes. I did all side quests, did all side areas, did everything I could think of, fully cleared most zones. I kind of just want to see everything there was in the campaign, and I did. I'm assuming 16 hours is like a dog shit time. But I mean, it's fair. I think like it's fair to say as a new player, it's probably not too bad. But overall, the mercenary was fun. Probably not hardcore viable unless you're better than me. But overall, it was a fun campaign. As you can see on my tree here, I did respec. I dropped a bunch of stuff just to go full armor. Ever since I went armor, this character felt pretty amazing. I almost never die, and I have like 20 all-res or whatever, which is pretty funny. I did end up getting some resist later on. Went into my first map, and I will say, right off the back, maps have the exact same problem they did last time. They're just big, empty zones that you constantly have to run back and forth on, which is really, really tedious. I'm hoping that gets better, but sprinting really does help that a lot. Decided to go back to the depths and craft a little bit more, and I hit an insane amulet. It was already a decent amulet, but slamming 70 life on that just made it so much better. I ended up finding my first unique strongbox, which was pretty awesome. It was actually just like a beetle that ran around and spawned enemies, and then when I killed it, it dropped a bunch of jewels, which is pretty sick. I really hope they have more unique strongboxes and not just the one, but already the first one I've seen was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it. Apparently you can respawn in maps now, which I wasn't aware of. But, yeah, apparently, if you spawn the boss, which I kind of like this, if you fight the boss and you die, everything else despawns, but you get to fight the boss again, which is pretty interesting. I do like that they're trying to branch away from just having to, like, oh, you have 6 portals every map. I think it's a cool system. I will say the biggest problem with a system like this is it basically punishes anyone else not playing meta or really powerful skills. So if you're like me and you like to play trash, PoE 2 is going to be very rough. I'm really happy that Essence still exists in PoE 2. They can be kind of scary when you're not res capped like me, but it's pretty satisfying to seeing a bunch of Essence drop. Definitely going to craft with some of these later on, if I get one I can use. In total, I've done about 5 maps so far. I did take a little break to go eat some lunch. And I have to say, I still have some of the same gripes about the mapping system in this. Mainly, like, the maps are just ridiculously big. Now, of course, I have no idea what the meta is. I don't know how fast other builds are. I don't know how strong they are. I don't even know where this character really fits on that, like, you know, that graph. But I have to say, the character doesn't feel like it moves very slow. I have 15% movement speed boots. I'm not sure if it still goes up to 30 in this game or not. But, like, I don't feel like I'm slow. And yet the maps still feel like they take a very long time. And of course my gear is nowhere near optimized. I have a lot of power to gain. And I'm still like at armor right now. Eventually I want to do evasion, do deflection and stuff like that. And we're also not critting yet, which I would like to do crit at some point. I'm not married to crit yet, because I don't know how good crits can actually be with the grenades, because like you don't hit with them very often. So I'd have to get like a ridiculously high crit for it to really matter. But I don't know, so far the mapping system, I am enjoying mapping now that you can sprint. Because last time I played, it was straight up like half your time was just walking from place to place and it felt terrible. And the sprinting really helps with that. No, it's only 3. The sprinting really helps with that, but still, it feels kind of weird. But overall, I would say the mapping does feel better right now because the Abyss, like, League mechanic is really fun. You just get to, like, fight 1,000 monsters all the time, which is cool, but at the same time, when you're doing that every single map, it can get a little bit tedious. One thing I really do like about the mapping system is you can find these like random little things that open other stuff on the atlas, which is pretty fun. I didn't know what these were at first, but if you hit all these glyphs, eventually you can open like a mini boss fight, which I do like. I like random stuff. The answer is yes. You can get 30% movement speed, which is pretty sick. I'm gonna slam them because why not? Okay. Oh yeah, that's 6. What am I doing? Oh yeah, let's try doing the abyss thing, right? Can I even do that? What? Too high? You can only do it to level 64? What? That is shitty? Maybe there's like a bigger one. Maybe there's just like a, instead of a nod rib, it's just a rib or something. I don't know. I hope so, because if you can't use like any of the new stuff on anything above 64, it's pretty shitty. I'm assuming it's just you have to find a bigger one. But anyway, I mean, we got more movement speed. That's cool, I guess. I fought a mini boss in a map, and he dropped a special support gem, which I do like this idea of farming support gems from certain bosses. I'm sure it's going to be pretty rough if you're trying to play a character that literally doesn't function until you get the support gem. But at the same time, I kind of like that idea. One thing I do want to talk about again, because I can't stress enough how much I hate how often you have to backtrack in these maps. I can't tell you how many times I've fully cleared a map, and then, like, there's either a glyph in the corner I have to click on, or there's one rare I didn't see hidden in a corner, and then I have to spend, like, 2 or 3 minutes running all the way back to go do it. Maybe 2 to 3 minutes is an exaggeration, but it does add up pretty quickly. Hey, you made this far in the video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am level 71, 33% of the way to 72. My tree is a mess. I'm sure it could totally be optimized, but so far it's working out pretty well for me. My resists aren't even capped. My cold res is pretty terrible. I don't die too often. I mean, we're reasonably tanky, I guess. My armor rating is my armor is 4,000 right now, which is okay. Eventually, I would like to switch over to like deflection and stuff like that, which is somewhere over here. Not right here. Yeah, here's some deflection. There's also like these small nodes that give you deflection equal to a percent of your evasion, which is pretty cool. We went for a lot of like penetration and LE damage. Going up here for some like projectile damage and stuff like that. Which, so far, this character was pretty fun. I do want to say that ascending in this game is so tedious and unfun, I just don't even care to do it. Like, for example, whoops. For example, I do have 2 trials here, but I absolutely hate this league mechanic so much, even back in PoE 1. Can't stand it, I don't care, I'm not doing it. If I do drop one of these, I will go do my lab, or at least attempt to. But I am not doing 3 floors of this stupid mechanic. I hate it so much. Other than that, mapping is going pretty well. You can see my, I don't even know how to click on it, but sure. Here's my tree so far. I am almost at this boss. I do need to have a tier 6 waystone to be able to fight it, but I think I've gotten all the relics. I think there's only one more whatever thing I need to find. Going up here, I don't really know like what this is. I guess there's like a merchant. I'm assuming you trade with gold, but I don't really know. I need a tier 4 before I can kill this, which I'm just about to do. I have a tier 3 right now. I have a couple tier 3s, I think. Could be wrong. Yeah, I have a couple. I've just been running maps rare because why not? So far, this character pretty much never dies. I'm not sure if my weapon is absolutely insane or if it's mediocre, but so far, anytime I grenade, pretty much everything dies. I love the grenade skills so much. It's so fun just blowing up the entire screen. I will say the biggest problem with this character, though, besides, like, you know, all the, like, ascendancy stuff and everything, is when I do blow up all these grenades, I can't see anything. In terms of how long I'm going to play PoE 2, I don't really know. I think a big part of what's making this more enjoyable for me is I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm playing when I feel like it. I'm not playing when I don't feel like it. Taking lots of breaks. So in total, we've played 19 hours, so I've played an additional like 3 hours and something since completing the campaign, and I really like that. This, like, it's very much like a different headspace for me than PoE 1. This feels more like a game where I just get on sometimes, you know, do some maps, play a little while, and then go play something else, and so far that's working out pretty well for me. That might change. Maybe I'll enjoy like playing it more later on. But so far, it's kind of like an incremental game for me. I really don't like the currency system. It's not so much that the currencies are bad. Like I do like the idea that they're going for with the jeweler orbs and stuff like that. It just feels so. I don't know. Again, I don't even think it's bad necessarily. It's just not a system I prefer. Like you pretty much never find items you want. You're just always having to craft stuff, which is okay. And I'm sure there are some people that really love that as opposed to like finding it. But it kind of feels like it kind of feels very anti-ARPG because for me anyway, when I play an ARPG, I want to be killing stuff, picking up stuff besides just currency and being like, "Oh yeah, I can use this. I can use this." But in this game, it's more so of like, "All right, I found a base. Let's craft on it. All right, it's dead. I found another base. All right, let's craft on it. All right, it's dead." Which I'm sure some people really like that, but I just don't. One thing, I did not put my pilfering ring on until I completed the campaign. Not because I was like trying to plan for that. I just didn't think it was in the game yet. But so far, as you can see, we've gotten a pretty decent amount of currency for only 3 hours of play. And my maps are okay. I don't really know, like, I don't really have a plan for this character. I'm just going to keep playing. I'm having a good time. But yeah, if you want to start off with a mercenary, it's really fun. It's really strong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the best or better than anything else, but I would recommend it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you later.